Thanks for staying with us. Welcome to the program. News across Nigeria. I'm Joke Rogers. Coming up today, Supreme Court throws out Nyesom Wike's appeal challenging the Rivers Governorship Election Tribunal panel. The governors of 6 northwestern states meet amid fresh security concerns, and hundreds of civil society groups endorsed Bayelsa State Governor Sereke Dixon for a second term in office. Of course, we begin nationally. The screening of ministerial nominees resumed today at the Senate chambers after the lawmakers adjourned sitting last Thursday. Now, 6 nominees are scheduled to face the lawmakers' scrutiny. They are Professor Adewale Folorunsho, Bawa Buhari, Jeffrey Onyema, Zainab Ahmed, Mohammed Dan Ali, and Usani Uguru. 3 of the nominees have already appeared and taken their leave. They are Professor Adewale Folorunsho, Honorable Bawa Buhari, and Mr. Jeffrey Onyema. The 4th nominee, Zainab Ahmed, is now before the Senate, or appeared before the Senate, while Mansour Dan Ali and Pastor Usani Uguru are awaiting their turn. President Muhammadu Buhari had sent 36 names to the upper chamber to be screened as members of his cabinet. The exercise had gone in phases, with the first batch of nominees already confirmed by the Senate. If today's nominees are screened, about 4 more may be left, which means before the end of the week, the Senate might be able to confirm all nominees. The Supreme Court has thrown out an appeal filed by the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike challenging the constitution of the Rivers State Governorship Election Tribunal panel. The appellant had objected that the court lacked merit to relocate the case to Abuja. The court also upheld the decision of the 2 lower courts, which dismissed his appeal challenging the relocation of the tribunal from Rivers State's capital to Abuja. Well, according to the Apex Court, the invocation of the doctrine of necessity by the president of the appellate court at the material time was in order, since there was no chief judge or president of the customary court of appeal in the state. It also held that it's common knowledge that at the material time there were threats of insecurity, leading to the decision of the president of the appellate court to take a preventive measure of securing the life and property of the members of the tribunal. The court said that, in any case, consultation of the chief judge of a state and the president of a customary court of that state is not to affect the persons nominated to sit on any appeal that may result from elections from that particular state, but to ensure that such a state is represented in the selected panelists for tribunals emanating from the general elections at that time. All 5 judges of the Supreme Court agreed with the judgment.
On the issue of constituting the tribunal, at the time the tribunal was constituted, there was no chief judge of Rivers State, there was no president of the customary court of appeal. And so that the consultation, the word used shall, is not mandatory, that in certain circumstances that it may mean discretionary, and that the discretionary power exercised by the president of the Court of Appeal is in order. Because if that is not done, then it means there will be no tribunal.
Naturally, I'm happy about the decision of the court, because if it had been otherwise, it would have translated to all the proceedings taken so far being a nullity. Because the appeal essentially was against the right of the court, the tribunal, to be relocated to sit in Abuja as opposed to sitting in Rivers State. So it's a very fundamental decision that has been rendered this morning. And if you appreciate the fact that several other states will have been caught in the same web, Yobe State, Borno, Akwa Ibom, and Adamawa, all state tribunals have been relocated to Abuja, you can imagine the consequences. But now the court had spoken, and long live the court.
Well, the Rivers State National and State Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal sitting in Abuja has nullified the election of the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Uwaji Bani, and 20 lawmakers in the state. And according to the tribunal, the petitioners were able to prove that elections were marred with violence and irregularities and ordered fresh elections to be conducted within 90 days. Now, however, 11 other seats in the Assembly were upheld, while the petitions questioning their election were dismissed for lack of merit. Well, the other eagerly awaited results was that of the governor of Oyo State, Senator Abiola Ajimobi. The Governorship Election Tribunal sitting in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, has upheld his victory after about 4 months of legal battle. The tribunal dismissed the petition filed by the former governor of the state and the candidate of the Accord Party in the April governorship election, Senator Rashid Ladoja. Senator Ladoja had challenged the validity of the victory of Ajimobi of the APC, but the Justice Muhammad Mayaki-led tribunal says the governor was indeed duly elected. More reactions are pouring in on the judgment of the Plateau State Governorship Election Tribunal, which today upheld the election of Simon Lalong as the governor of Plateau State. Chairman of the All Progressives Congress in the state, Mr. Latep Laban, commended the judgment and asked residents to support the government of the day.
Victory for Plateau State, as far as we are concerned, is a no winner, no vanquished situation, because elections are supposed to determine and put people in at the wheel of governance. And where you disagree on the field, you continue at the tribunal. And so we won at stage 1. This is stage 2. We have won again, and we believe that it's a confirmation of what was done at that level. Thank you very much. The people of Plateau should remain peaceful, unite, and ensure that we do not distract the government so that we have the best for Plateau State.
When news across Nigeria returns, the Chief of Army Staff tasks troops to take the war on terror seriously. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.